Okay, so today we're going to do a few things, and this is something that your class may or may not have done. This class is not for sure. I'm going to take some white pastel and some blue pastel. It can be the light blue or the dark blue, and just watch for now. You guys can, you'll have time after to do, so you don't need to be playing with your pastels right this second. So I'm just going to draw kind of a wavy line. You can see that I already painted this one, but even if you don't have it, you'll be able to draw it on your sheet. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the Snowperson sections. So you're just going to, if I do this in slow motion, I'm going from here down, from here down, from here down. And I'm just trying to blend that blue in a little bit better. And this is going to be a little bit of snow for our snow person to sit on in the foreground of our picture. We'll just quickly do this because we want it to match our snow person. And then I'll just blend it a bit this way. Now, next step, very easy. We're going to cut out all our elements of our image. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut inside this line a bit so that I get my paint all the way to the edge of my paper. So I have this part. I'll set that aside for now. Then I'm going to cut on the other side of the line here because I might have a bit of paint. I want to make sure that that is cut off. And then just cutting out my elements. And when you're cutting out your snow person, you may wish to wiggle your scissors a little bit. So as I'm pivoting, I'm wiggling. I guess it's not my scissors, it's my paper. And what that's going to do is it's just going to create a little bit of a bumpy edge. Now you can do that, of course, with scrapbooking scissors, but those will all have exactly the same pattern. This just adds a little bit of a snow bumpy. So we want to make sure that we cut them out with no white space around them. I'm just going to quickly do that. And then we're going to be gluing them down to our painting. Now remember, because the paint is powdery and tempera, we need to glue both sides. Usually we just glue like the paper, but this time we're going to put some glue on the back of this as well as the front of our painting. So I have Snow Person, I have snowy foreground, and yeah. So then I'm just going to glue. I had glue here a second ago. I'm going to grab some glue. Okay, first thing that we're going to do, we're going to glue our foreground down where our snow person is going to be sitting. Actually, we might do that last. Let's see how it looks both ways. So if I line this up here, I can put my snow person in front. Make sure that my shading is on the bottom each time. So do we like it more like that or like this? Okay, raise your hand if you like it like this. Perfect. All right, that's how we're going to do it. Well, that was more than half, so what I'm going to do is, and you can put your snow person wherever you want on the picture. It doesn't have to be on this side. Like you can put it over here. You can put it over here. It's up to you. But it will have to be somewhere along the bottom so that it is behind that little slip of white paper. Now you might do yours a little bit larger. Oh, absolutely. It totally could be leaning. So once I have the glue on this, I'm also going to put a little bit of glue on my background because, again, that tempera paint tends to be a little powdery, so it makes stuff not glue down as well. And remember, we want to count to 20 after we glue. Okay. Next up. And again, we are gluing our page. Don't put too much glue on. If you go bigger than your shape, then it'll show up on your painting. And you don't necessarily want that. Put a little bit of glue here. So I didn't count to 20 because I'm going to hold these both at the same time. Super exciting. Waiting for glue to stick. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to glue on. And if you would prefer to have yours the other way, you absolutely can. You would just glue this on first. A little bit of glue along the bottom here. And it'll curl pretty quickly, so be aware of that. Okay. And then, yeah. It's lifting a little bit, but it should be stuck down for the most part. So then I'm just going to add any details that I want to my snow person in pastel. So you can draw right over it, give them a face, add all of those snow person details. If you still have scraps of paper, well, no, you can draw, like maybe they want to have a hat or a scarf. You can draw them on here and then glue them on here if you'd like. Sure, yeah. Yeah, you should make a face, I assume, unless your snow person is facing the other direction. Now remember, that is a good point. Your snow person can actually be facing another direction, right? There, he's looking that way. Yep, one more question.
How will they be able to tell if it's facing backwards?
Oh, then you wouldn't necessarily see anything. Maybe the back of a scarf, the back of a hat. Okay. So that'll be that today. And just, we want to make sure after we cut that our name is still on the back of the paper and our class, because you might be cutting it off. All right?